Did y'all watch both episodes of What If?
You know I did.
So what do you think about episode 1? Let's start with episode 1 first. What you think about episode 1?
I liked it.
Liked it? That's it? All right, focus.
No.
All right, it was great.
No, I liked it because it remembering the comic book and the Peggy Carter situation, I started noticing that they just repeated the movie and they just switched roles with Peggy. And it was literally what the Watcher was saying, creating a multiverse by just one choice. And it was hot though, because from what I saw, Bucky never dies. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. And
Captain America. Well, sorry, Steve Rogers is the first Iron Man.
yeah, because he uses the first Iron
Mark
Man
1
suit. Yeah, the first Mark 1 suit. And I'm like, yo, that is what's up. And I truly wanted to see where it goes next, because What If had a lot of concepts, because I remember reading the comic books, but everyone had their own What If, and it's still continuing different versions of What If.
It could be a million different stories. That's what
Exactly.
I love. That's what I love. That's why I love the first episode and the second episode. Because there's some possibilities. Like, it doesn't have to make sense. It doesn't have to follow what your thoughts are. No, this is the MCU. This has to happen. No, it's a branch. Like, it can have any kind of possibility. Like, it's like you change one little thing. They kind of said it in Loki too. You know, one little thing can branch into a new reality, and that's the best thing about this kind of concept, is that it can mash up different things. Like
The episode 1 specifically, did you like it?
But yeah, I loved it. I loved it because, you know, essentially because of how the art changed. You know, seeing Peggy in that light was pretty dope. Seeing Steve never becoming, you know, swole up Steve. You know, that shit was dope.
But she still tried to holler at him. She still liked him.
And she still, even with her looking like the Hulk, you know, like
She
Hulk. The old swole. She was still trying to get a little man.
It had me dying, because at one point I think I was like, yo, she could break you, bro. And every time she was like, nah, you gonna save that. You gonna save that dance for me. And he was like, nah, we gonna do a dance. And it was. I even like that. They actually, I don't know if you know this, but that concept of her getting caught in that dimension and them fighting in the castle, that was an old Captain America comic book where him and Bucky did fight Red Skull in a castle, because he did find the Tesseract. And I'm like, yo, that's what's up. They took an old comic book, they gave Peggy that, and I mean, at the end, Cap won, and he never won the dimension, but I did like how they put Peggy in there, and she just comes back 20 to 40 years later talking about, oh, listen, a lot has happened. I'm like, oh, this is about to be, that ending, I was like, oh, this is about to be hot.
If they continue it.
That was one.
No, but just like how that, just how it ended.
Right, she came
that
to
was
the
like 80 years.
2010, 2011 when the first Avenger movie ended.
Yeah, but
So,
like I said, I just like how they ended it. I'm like, oh, this is hot right here.
episode 2, you like it better or worse than episode 1?
Oh shit! Better or worse? I can't like it equally.
No.
Fuck.
Oh damn! It didn't take this long.
Right. Alright, so
Word, cause now I like the better.
you like it better than episode 1?
Yeah, because I like T'Challa in that comedic role. Yo, he was the family oriented. I love Thanos. He was like, yeah, he was mad, but he's cool now. I like everyone's comic relief, and it was still about family. Even with Ego coming back at them for Peter Quill, I was just like, yo, this is funny. Just from beginning to end, I was just like, oh, this is mad funny, bro. Like, I like it.
Don Schroeder will love your comment about family.
Family.
I was sorry. I won't say worse.
I'm not saying it's the worst.
No.
but
I'm not saying
which one you
worse.
think was?
I would say better because of, yes, the family aspect and so forth. But to me, it's also sentimental because, like, you get to hear Chadwick again, you know, and it's like,
Definitely.
you know, it's dope that he lended his voice to the series and so forth before his passing and so forth. So, you know, like,
And a lot of people did. I didn't know it was that many
different.
people. It was a lot of people that did the. I think only a few people declined or whatever.
Stan did it.
Right, he was in it. Peggy was really her voice. Even Thanos, Josh Brolin did the voice.
He definitely did that. Yeah.
which is good because people are showing that they're actually buying into
the
Marvel concept.
Mm-hmm. They're down for other projects too, not just because a lot of people don't like doing voiceovers because they say it's more work. You got to say stuff over and over and over again and get their vocal inflections, and while you're watching the cartoon, it's not saying anything. And so some people don't like doing it, but a lot of people agree to be a part of it. So.
But yeah, I mean, but to Finney's point exactly, it's the
so you like episode 2 better? Both of y'all like episode 2 better than?
Yeah, I like episode 2 better.
Yeah, I like it better. Not by much, but.
I mean, it don't matter.
It was. I think I just love.
Like 1%.
In the beginning, when old boy he fanboy.
Oh yeah.
He was like, "No, you're the Star-Lord." He was like,
which is the exact opposite of
what happened.
I'm Star-Lord. Who? Oh, you are. Do you think it was like over exaggerated how much change that T'Challa had being Star-Lord? Because it affected a lot. Thanos was good. Star-Lord is famous. Drax's family didn't die. Like it changed so much. That one incident of the Ravengers picking up the wrong kid changed the whole galaxy.
Bro, I think you're talking about genocide. No, they didn't let it go.
Right.
But in that aspect, he had a very major role. And
that little piece of change in history changed everything.
Like, there was no snap.
Because like you said, Peggy was still pretty much the Captain America movie, just starring her. This wasn't Guardians of the Galaxy. This was just a happy show. Like, life was good in the galaxy because he changed everything. Like,
and to Paul's point, he really did a major thing where there was no Infinity War, there was no Endgame. Like, bro, you literally created peace, which the Avengers couldn't get.
Fought for.
Exactly, he fought for.
He
like
just
5 years.
If we just talk, T'Challa was like, if we just talk, let me talk to him. Thanos, baby, what's
my
up?
man,
you ain't got to do this. There's a better way.
He literally said, "It's genocide." Like, you think, all right.
And what about T'Challa and Nebula's relationship? Y'all think they were doing some things?
He was definitely getting busy.
Because she turned to a hot girl. She had the blonde hair, whatnot. Like, she was.
I ain't gonna front. I thought I was looking for Gamora too, but I'm like, okay, well, clearly you got it.
Right. And I guess we don't know how far back it went when T'Challa was there and talked to him. Maybe he never took her from her planet, or who knows? They didn't say when all that stuff happened. But yeah, he probably never snatched up Gamora.
Yeah, you're right.
Maybe.
So there's no need to.
Right. Because he wasn't on his mission. So
it's. I mean, what I say is an exaggeration. That's the question you posed, right? No, I just think that's just the natural correlation to how things go. Once one thing does goes some way. It's like the beginning of World War I. Like, if nobody shot the Austrian king at that time, it's like, would you really have this chain of events that would have started the war? Or however World War II started.
But would there be no more wars? Like, he had peace.
That's what I'm saying.
He had everything. Everything was straight.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like,
except for the Collector.
But it's like, it's like anything in life. If one thing could have changed something, and that would not have happened, how much different would the world look? If nobody was snatching up people, out of Africa or whatever. What would the civilizations be like that nowadays?
Wakanda.
It we may have a whole kind of thing, but I think it's not really an exaggeration. I just think it shows a natural progression of what the world could look like if certain things would not to have happened.
Okay.
The intro of the Watcher is basically how you can view life, because if you ever look at your life and you see how things happened in your life, if you actually go back in time and change a choice, things will be different, and you won't know that until you really go back. And I remember telling Karina that one time. I said, "Yo, if I had did X, Y, and Z, I would have never met you." And she was like, "Why?" I'm like, "I can go back right now and go to the point where if I had went for somebody else instead of this other person, I know I would have never met you."
If I would have never went to my high school, I would have never met Shane. I would have never met you. If I didn't work at Best Buy, I would have never met you probably. Like, I don't know what shit would have been. So that's what I'm saying. It's like, like if you flash me back to like high school or college, if I wanted to graduate and got a better job, then I probably wouldn't know nobody. So, nobody that I know now.
It's literally about choices. I know everyone gets to that point where, like, even looking at What If now is actually making you think, like, you can be upset at your life or you can be upset at certain choices, but these choices make you who you are now.
Mm-hmm.
If you go back and change them, you get a different outlook of it. Whether it's good or bad, it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
That's what if looks like, which branches out to a different universe, multiverse, and so forth and so on.
Yes, the choices you make. I think that's the most impactful thing about the show.
But that's if you believe in free will, because he who remains told us he
made all that happen.
It don't matter. I already know what's going to happen.
I created the path for you to go and follow. This is just some BS because that
so
everything all over the place.
Why I feel the way right now?
Yes.
Do you like how it's going on so far?
I like the show. I think it's too short. Because they're pretty much compacting a movie into the episode.
If you look at it, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I think it moves very fast, but I think it's cool. I think something like this they probably could have just released in its entirety. I think it's only 8 episodes. I think. I don't know if it's 6 episodes. I think they could have gave us all 6 of them in one shot. I don't think because they're all.
It could have been a whole movie at that point.
Yeah, and it's an anthology. None of them really connect unless they might hit us with a Black Mirror kind of thing with its little Easter eggs that connect each thing. But as of now, it seems like they could have just gave us all that at once. Releasing it weekly like this, but I get it. Disney still want to keep you coming back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I think they could. They could. What I do like is they each end on a cliffhanger that makes you say, "Damn, what's gonna happen next?"
Well, what if? Well, yeah, essentially, what if happened?
Right, because we're showing you what happened immediately, but then Peggy's in the current generation now. Is there an Avengers? Is there what's going on here? And then at the end, Ego found Peter, and there's nobody to stop him.
Like, hi, son. I'm like,
right,
oh,
and remember, it was Gamora and them kind of talked him out of, and him looking at Yondu as his pops that made him say, "Nah, you are a bad person. You killed my moms." Right. He might be like now, like, "Oh, I'm a god. Let's go. Let's just destroy this guy." Like, you know what I'm saying? So now I don't know if they're gonna continue the story, but each one so far has ended with that. Oh my God, this could go somewhere crazy going forward. So I like that, because they don't answer the what if question. They're just saying what if, and then the rest is just who knows where it can go from there. So I think that's a cool way to do it. I'm looking forward to what's next because the trailer showed a lot of other things. But yeah, I like them both. I like the second one better as well. Mainly because it was different. A lot more was affected. Like I said, the first episode was literally the first Avengers movie, Captain America movie, but just Peggy doing it. And she was aggressive. She was brutal. She was using that shield like U.S. agent more than Captain America. She was killing.
You saw how she was talking to the general?
Yeah, she was aggressive. So, what I'm saying?
And she tried to be cool about it.
Yeah, she was very.
Yo, you lucky to be in this table. I'm like,
she was aggressive.
Oh, you got it. Not even Steve did that. He just like he was like a teenage kid. He was like, I'm gonna escape and I'm gonna just fuck my curfew and I'm gonna save my friends.
Right.
Anybody else with me?
And what I did like watching it was you didn't know what was gonna happen because, like you said, Bucky didn't die at first. Steve fell, so he gonna become Winter Soldier. Oh no, he didn't. He became Iron Man. You know what I'm saying? So you just didn't know what was gonna happen.
That was definitely a thought.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna flip that to where he falls and then later comes back. I was like, but it didn't happen like that. But he ended up getting this. Howard Stark made the Iron Man suit for him, the Mach 1, which kind of takes away from Tony. He's like, he didn't come up with that. He made it, but the blueprints was already drawn up by your daddy.
Which is funny because he was damn near a war machine because he had no legs on him.
Right, That's true.
No legs.
Right,
can't feel him.
Right. So it's like, damn. So does Tony? Does he just fast forward to Mach 2, 3, 4, whatever? Or does he make one from scratch too? Or what does that do for Tony's legacy now?
I think we'll see that because I remember seeing the trailers of Tony, and Killmonger. So we'll see all that later on. See how.
And we don't know if it's going to continue or.
The thing with Marvel is in every movie, in every cartoon, every TV show, there's a link. And the thing about Marvel is they're always trying to get you to watch it because you need to understand this to understand that. And that's where the fans, and we were talking about it a while back, like, yo, you gained my trust at this point. I don't have to.
And these you don't. However, it gives you a better effect.
Yeah.
Seeing what changed. Because like in the first episode of Watch, it was like in that moment is what changed it. It's like, oh. Whereas if you didn't watch the movie, you like, oh, all right, a woman. We got a woman doing stuff. That's cool.
Have you ever read any one of the comics?
I have no. I heard, I knew of them and I knew the concept. but I never read any of them. And I like the way the MCU is doing it right after Loki ending, and it's like, yeah, this is what's going on in the rest of them timelines that y'all didn't know. You know, so it's a what if, but it's also, but this is actually happening in the other timelines. So it's kind of.
I don't know how long they had it out, but I remember when they did their first Civil War comic, like that was the real big thing for all the Marvel characters, and that's when it was over, they came up with What If, and it involved Spider-Man, it involved Iron Man and Captain America, because they basically everyone who switched the role, and I'm like,
and unfortunately they can't do Spider-Man because they don't have the rights.
No, which is fine, but it was more like.
But I just mean for the Disney Plus series, they can't do it. So because Sony won't. Sony like, nah. We got to animate Spider-Man. Miles Morales, he doing all right. Second movie coming out soon.
So.
Contracts.
Movie, I can't. Honestly, I can't wait to see how that one works.